They reached toward the sky, twisted and intertwined as if locked in a death grip. Strangely enough, the forest that night seemed particularly dense. Everything around me was under the spell of winter's standstill, and every turn of the wheel, every meter of road, felt like eternity. Then, something changed. Everything that had surrounded me up until now seemed familiar and normal, but with every turn, I felt that cold, invisible fear creeping into my soul. I saw it in the distance, a strange figure, at first seeming like just a tree swaying in the wind. But with every meter, it became clearer. The creature was enormous, nearly twice the size of a person, and its silhouette wasn't human. I slowly reduced speed, but it felt like it was already too late. This wasn't just a large animal, it was covered in dark fur, thick and long, like some mythical creature. Its eyes gleamed in the darkness, two bright lights that stared directly at me. Within that light, there was something utterly alien. The creature raised one long paw, and with an almost feline grace, as though it felt no weight, it stepped toward me. I felt my blood freeze in my veins. My brain couldn't focus from fear. My heart pounded in my chest. I jerked the wheel to the side and the car slid off the shoulder. In a moment, the creature was already beside me, almost at the level of my window. Its face was almost human, but with strange, contorted features. Its cursed eyes shone in the darkness, and its body swayed slightly, as if it was experiencing some invisible yet inevitable tension. I couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't scream or pray. I just sat there, frozen, paralyzed. The creature didn't move, didn't take a step toward me, but its gaze never left mine. I realized it was studying me, like a predator observing its prey, and in that gaze there was something dangerous and indescribable, something from another world. Then I understood. It wasn't just a creature that I could see. It was part of this night, part of this forest, part of this emptiness. It belonged to the darkness. I took a deep breath, tried to shake off the terror, and turned the ignition key, forcing the engine to start again. But then something terrible happened. I felt my hands fail me, and a sharp noise like something heavy hitting the roof of my car. Instantly, I understood. It wasn't a coincidence. The creature had jumped onto the car, and now it rocked like a boat in a storm. I screamed, jerked the wheel, swerved off the road, but in the forest's darkness, the creature kept following me. I started swerving, desperately trying to avoid hitting the trees, not knowing where my fear was taking me. But it was too late. With every second, my mind grew more clouded. I didn't know if this was just a nightmare or reality, but one thing I knew for sure. I couldn't stop. I had to run. I sped up, but with every meter I heard it getting closer, its heavy steps growing louder. It seemed like it was chasing me, and in its pursuit there was neither rage nor fear, only cold, unfeeling destruction. At some point I heard a crack. The tires broke through a thick layer of ice, and the car began to skid, losing traction with the road. I screamed. The wheel tore from my hands, but I couldn't regain control. The car careened into the forest. When I opened my eyes, I realized it was over. The car was on the shoulder, as if abandoned. The creature was gone, and the forest around me was just as dark and empty as before. I knew it hadn't left, that it was still nearby, waiting. And maybe it would wait a little longer before returning, but I was alive. And in that moment, I understood. Perhaps that was exactly what it had wanted. After all, something can't be moved. I turned to see the little car start to move faster. It had come closer. Perhaps that was exactly what it had wanted.